I always thought my cold boss hated me, until that day in the elevator, when I suddenly heard his thoughts. I really want to kiss James in the elevator. God, I wish I could have some elevator fun with James. I froze because I am James, but I'm a guy. My leg was halfway out of the elevator when shock made it go weak, and I collapsed onto the floor. James, are you okay? Mike's voice came from above me, cool and distant as always. I looked up dazed at my boss who was about to help me up. In a panic, I scrambled to my feet. Mr. Wilson, I'm fine. No need to help. I'm going now. I turned and fled, ignoring Mike's slightly surprised expression. Why are his ears so red? Hearing that thought, I walked even faster. Of course my ears are red when you're sexually harassing me. You pervert. When I finally got home, I collapsed on my couch, trying to process this insane situation. Not only could I hear my boss's thoughts, but more importantly, his sexual orientation was unexpected, and he seemed to be planning to enchant me. I was shocked, stunned, and completely lost, so I decided to quit. Just as I was angrily preparing to write my resignation letter, my landlord called. James, I'm planning to raise the rent a bit. Let me know by the end of the month. Oh, okay. After hanging up, my determination instantly deflated. Mike's company was the best in the industry. If I quit this stressful but well-paying internship right after graduation, I'd be homeless next month. Plus, this apartment was closest to work, had great amenities, and I didn't need roommates. Between survival and dignity, I reluctantly chose survival. The next day, I dragged myself to work. While waiting for the elevator and sighing, I suddenly heard that familiar voice in my head again. James looks unhappy today. Is work too tiring? I should find a way to increase his salary. I immediately perked up and turned with a flattering smile. Good morning, Mr. Wilson. Morning, Mike replied flatly, his expression cool and distant, but his eyes were staring right at me. I pretended not to notice the heat in his gaze and sucked up to this money god. Are you taking this elevator today? Yes, mine is broken. I'll be using yours for a while. No problem. I quickly bowed and pressed the elevator button for my handsome, wealthy boss. Mike glanced at me and stepped in with his long legs. James's smile is beautiful. I want to kiss him. First I'd kiss him like this, then like that, and then. Listening to this live broadcast of filth, my ears burned red again, almost breaking my fake smile. Darn, I'll tolerate this since you're planning to raise my salary. Suddenly, Mike spoke up. James, how's your internship going? I smiled falsely and smoothly kissed up to him. Excellent. Our company offers fulfilling work, generous pay, and the best benefits. Of course, our success is due to your brilliant decisions and leadership skills. I feel honored to work here. Mike looked at me with an amused expression and nodded. Even his lies are adorable. I should definitely increase his salary. He's been working overtime trying to get that permanent position. He's lost weight, and it breaks my heart. My smile faltered, and strangely, my heart softened for a moment. TSK, your manipulation tactics are impressive. Almost moved me there. I needed a plan that would prevent Mike from blocking my permanent position while also getting him to stop staring at my butt. I secretly watched Mike, thinking hard. After a day of consideration, I came up with a few options. First, find a girlfriend as a shield, but I immediately rejected this unfair idea. Second, pretend I didn't know. I refused to believe that in the 21st century, this capitalist would force himself on me. I'd also figured out a pattern. I could only hear Mike's thoughts when I was within a few meters of him, so I'd just avoid getting close to him, which would prevent me from giving myself away. I nodded, satisfied with my plan. But when I got home after work and stepped out of the elevator, I saw movers carrying furniture into the apartment across from mine. Wow, which rich kid is slumming it here? They're bringing in a six-figure couch. I looked on enviously before entering my own place. Maybe it was because I'd been hearing Mike's thoughts too much lately, but that night I actually dreamed about him. The dream was difficult to describe. In it, I was back in the company elevator. When my alarm woke me, I was initially confused. Then I buried my red face in my pillow and groaned. Can someone explain why I dreamed about that to Mike? It's all his fault. If he hadn't been having those dirty thoughts about me that I overheard, I wouldn't be having these dreams. While mentally punching Mike, I suddenly heard his familiar voice. Last night's dream was so good. When will I be able to get close to James like I did in the dream? I sat up abruptly, looking around in horror. How could I hear Mike's voice in my own home? After realizing what was happening, I didn't even bother putting on pants before searching my apartment. No one was there, so why could I hear Mike's voice? I gradually noticed that the closer I got to my bedroom, the clearer Mike's voice became. My mind-reading ability had evolved to work directionally. I was absolutely flabbergasted, apparently. I'd have to listen to Mike lusting after me, even while sleeping in my bedroom now. I was devastated, but had no choice but to accept reality. After getting ready with heavy sighs, I prepared to go out for breakfast. By coincidence, the rich new neighbor across the hall was also opening their door. I put on a polite smile, ready to say hello. But when my neighbor revealed his handsome face, I felt my brain short-circuit.